Welcome to the City Council meeting Tuesday, January 17, 2012. We'll move to roll call, please.
Amy Mills.
Here.
Irene Berg.
Here.
Ray Martin.
Here.
Helen Meldrum.
Here.
Joe Nugent.
Here.
Mark Thompson.
Here.
Gary Tuzinowski.
Here.
Let's have a moment of silent prayer. Please include Randy Nugent. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, we'll have public comment. Anyone in the audience that wishes to speak before the council, please do so now. Everybody fine? Then we'll move on to City Manager's report. Entertaining motion to hear the City Manager report of January 13th, 2012.
Make a motion that we hear the city manager's report.
All in favor of hearing the City Manager report, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Council members opposed, motion is carried. Carl, please begin.
With my report, I included a letter from Mark Weber thanking the city of Algonac for sending its aerial fire truck to the St. Clair Boating and Marina Fire in Canada. At the last Planning Commission meeting, they approved the Russell Island site plan and also extended the paving requirement by another 30 days. City Clerk Cindy Greenia has prepared there's an attached update on our boards and commissions dinner. If the council has any questions, we'd both be happy to address those tonight. We received the quarterly financial report from Fifth Third Bank. I've contacted the Michigan Municipal League about a search process for my successor, and I learned late this afternoon that I should have a proposal tomorrow. So that's moving right along. I've enclosed the December Greater Algonac Chamber of Commerce newsletter. And some time ago, Councilmember Mark Thompson raised the question, made the suggestion that we look into LED lighting to replace our street lights. And we told you all that that would be a lengthy process because DTE first required that we do a survey of all of our lights, and we reported that on that previously. I've enclosed Paul's report. LED lighting is more cost effective, but the payback is quite lengthy, being 15 years. Since that time, we've been meeting with potential energy consultants to look at the city's power bills and gas bills to see if we couldn't undertake a conservation project. And when we talked to them about LED lighting, they thought that there were other alternatives that would reduce our cost and had a much shorter payback, so that's something that we're going to be pursuing with them as part of that process. That's all I have for you this evening. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to address them.
Council members?
Carl, getting to the lights, I was wondering maybe the DDA might be interested in looking into financing some along the downtown area. It might brighten up the place and might be a kind of shot in the arm for the town. And I'm wondering if Edison would do relatively small blocks of them. Thought I had that maybe we could even consider financing a few every year, like we did with the remote meter connections, and over a few years make a dent in it.
We did request a separate quote for the masts that we have, the aluminum masts that are along M29 by Riverfront Park. And they were more expensive than just the standard street light to replace, and I'll get those figures together for you. And I will do that. I will make a note and share that with the DDA as well.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I just would like to read this letter that was addressed to you, Carl, from Mark Weber. And he's saying, "I also want to thank you and the city of Algonac for sending your new aerial fire truck to the fire at St. Clair Boating and Marina in Canada. I'm sure your efforts saved my boat, which was located in shed number 1. I saw the pictures of your unit pumping water toward the building, and it's evident it prevented the fire from spreading to the next shed, which is only 14 feet away. I would be happy to donate to a fund that would be used to support your team. The fire was devastating to those who lost their boats. But in every tragedy, there is always a positive. No one was hurt, and the caring and support of you and your team is something to be thankful for. I guess you could have easily said to the call that you were not available or may violate some rule, but you didn't, and that made all the difference. Please pass my sincere thanks to your firefighters and public safety colleagues." Very nice. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Carl. Nice
Today-
letter.
Today, Chief Doan was telling me that he had met with the mayor and some of the township officials and fire officials from that area of Canada. I guess it's St. Clair Township. And they are, what the town, maybe you could come up and explain this, Joe. You're more familiar with it than I am. But looking back there and having you confirm what I remember and tell us all again. Okay. Thank you.
I had the pleasure of meeting with the fire chief, his assistant, another representative from the community. And they just wanted to share a thanks preliminary. They're looking towards sometime in February for the mayor himself and some of his colleagues to come over and meet with the officials from the communities that participated with the purchase of the truck to share their gratitude. And they're also looking forward to potentially forming a mutual aid agreement for us to work even better. The response and the support that we had from not only our customs but their side as well, he says, was just remarkable, and it's time that we work closer together in the future.
Very nice.
So they were very
Very
grateful,
nice.
and probably sometime in February he'll get with, hopefully be able to meet with the mayor and some other officials.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that, Jill.
There's probably few communities in the whole country that would
Couldn't do
have
that.
an agreement with another country, and that'd be really a feather in the cap for the whole downriver area.
I know in previous fires that Wapu Island had, that Harson's Island sent some of their equipment over. And I think a couple fires that Harson's Island had, that Wapu Island came over and helped them, so. We do have some mutual aid internationally.
Any other questions? Then we'll move on to the city council, or consent agenda. We have on the consent agenda, city council minutes, regular meeting of January 3rd, 2012. Under communications as notices, we have the letter of resignation from city manager Carl Tomian. Under department reports for council review, we have DPW information for month of December, information from the Algonac Water Department, police department notes of interest from January 6th through January 12th, fire department informational sheet for December 2011, plus a 5-year plan, library priorities and minutes for December, building department, financial summary, planning commission on meeting minutes, and downtown development authority meeting minutes. Entertain a motion, please.
Make a motion to accept the consent agreement as presented.
Any questions on the sheets that were
Yeah, we didn't, and I'm sure it's just a slip-up, we didn't get the incident report from the fire department, you know, where they tell you how many calls they went on and how many people went to the calls.
It should have been in there.
No, I didn't see it. All we got was about their meetings and the total hours.
There was a report. I think it must have gotten misplaced sometime.
Oh, okay.
Copying. We do have that report, and I'll get another copy of it and send it out with my Friday report.
Okay, that's fine, thank you.
I'm sorry I missed that.
Do we have to accept his resignation letter? Can we say no?
Won't do any good. He's gonna leave anyway. He's already not doing half the job, not giving us all the reports that are given to him.
Give it to him.
Wow. Low blow.
All in favor of approving the consent agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Unfinished business. At this time, we have no unfinished business council needs to address. Let's move on to the new business. 8A, Community Center Fee Recommendations presented by City Manager for council's approval. Entertain a motion listing the proposed change, please.
I move we amend our fee schedule for the community center rental rate as presented.
Support.
Any questions that you need to have answered before the vote is called?
Mayor Bird, I'd be happy to
I'm sorry.
review what those changes are.
I'd
So,
appreciate that, Carl.
In a previous city council meeting, the question was raised why our fees to our residents were so much higher than the rates that we used in contracts with organizations. And previously, the community center rental rate from Monday through Thursday was $250, and Friday through Sunday and holidays was $300. The rates that we were using for some of our contracts were in the range of $50. So we recommended that the Monday through Thursday rate be reduced from $250 to $50. The Friday rate be reduced from $300 to $60. But we did have a concern, and that is that once we lowered the price, that it might, to such a minimal amount, that it might be an incentive for less than reputable lessees to take advantage of our facility. So we recommended that the cleaning deposit, refundable cleaning deposit, be raised from $100 to $200. And that was a consensus of our staff, that both Police Chief Rich Tarancho supported that, as well as DPW Supervisor Paul Dramarowitz, who's responsible for maintaining the building.
Would these rates be applicable to residents and non-residents alike?
I don't believe we make a distinction in that now, so if the council wanted to change that, I guess that would be possible.
All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Council members opposed? Motion is carried. Move on to approving the lease agreement with the City of Algonac and Julie Callan to hold a flea market during the course of the 2012 calendar year as presented. Entertain a resolution to approve the lease between the City of Algonac and Julie Callan as presented, please.
Make a motion to approve the resolution as presented.
Second.
A question, didn't we already approve this?
No, we
This is a
decided-
new
No, we
one.
put it out.
This
We
is,
put it on, okay, it was on, but we didn't, okay.
What I think happened, it was really the presenting of this contract that led to the conversation about the inequities of the rate. And so I think that it was postponed, and now that we've adjusted the rates, we thought we'd bring the contract back again for your approval.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Council members opposed? Motion is carried. Resolution to approve the purchase of additional credited services years for the municipal employees retirement system for Debbie Miller as presented. Entertain a resolution to agree to the request with no cost to the city.
So moved.
Support.
At this time, council, do you have any questions or concerns that need to be addressed before this vote is called on Debbie's? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Council members opposed? Motion is carried. Resolution adopting schedule of fines for municipal civil infractions as presented, listing amount for each, please.
I'll make a motion, we adopt the resolution as presented with the civil infraction fees of $100 for the first offense, $250 for the second offense, and $500 for the third offense.
Support.
Questions or concerns on this motion?
Mayor Bird, just for the people who might not have followed our last meeting, actually the past two meetings, the city,
December, right?
the city of Algonac has essentially decriminalized some offenses and made them civil infractions. So it has a couple advantages. First of all the fines that would be paid would be 100% revenue to the city of Algonac instead of splitting them with the county and the state. A second advantage of them is that they are offenses that people would not, if convicted or if they pled guilty, would not have criminal records. And in those three ordinance amendments, they each said that after the ordinance became effective, that the council would adopt a resolution setting the amount of the fines for the civil infractions. And that is what you have before you tonight. It comes to you with a recommendation from both the police chief and the city attorney.
Did we ever get an actual list of the offenses that this covers? We did. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
remember there was 5 of them that you snarled at because you had to make motions for every
Oh,
one of
yeah,
them.
okay.
Any other questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. A resolution is needed to waive the bid procedure in the best interest of the city and approve the preparation of the Form F-65 report by McBride Manley as presented. Entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion, we adopt a resolution in the best interest of the city to waive the bid process for McBride Manley in the amount of $1,445.75 to satisfy the F-65 annual local unit fiscal report.
Second.
Any questions or concerns on that motion?
I don't know if Carl remembers, I don't recall paying separately for this in the past, have we?
I don't remember bringing a separate resolution to you. I don't know if it wasn't included in their contract this year. They have been preparing it. And what this form is after the auditors complete this city report, the state of Michigan requires municipalities to take the information in the approved audit and file it according to their regulations so that they can compare and contrast the finances of all the cities in the state. And historically, our auditors have filed that for us, and that's the request that we have in front of the council tonight.
Thank you.
All in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Council members opposed? Motion is carried in this regard. Next, we have a resolution is needed to approve the lease of certain riverfront park property of the United States Coast Guard for moorings as presented. Entertaining resolution, please, 1-17-12A.
Make a motion to approve the resolution 1-17-12A, allowing the Coast Guard to use the city park as in the previous years.
I'll second. I do have a question.
Go ahead.
Did we ever resolve the electric meter discrepancy?
Yes, we had a issue with the Coast Guard about the past due bill and also how future electric charges are going to be handled. They did pay the amount due the city in full, and they were permitted to put the meter in their own name, but as I understand it, they haven't done that yet to date. So we no longer are responsible for that electric bill.
Thanks, Carl.
I'd like to amend the motion by adding a clause to it to insert that the city has the right to terminate the lease by giving at least 60 days notice in writing to the Coast Guard. Coast Guard has the right to terminate this in the same fashion, and if we don't have something similar in here, we basically can't change the lease until 2013, which isn't that long, but seems like any contract should have a means of exiting, and particularly since we only receive $1 a year for it. No, I think it's an oversight. It probably got left off of the contract.
I think the last contract was like this too.
I think,
Yeah,
I
it's
think,
basic wording, it's.
Yeah.
I think the language is exactly the same as the contract was before, but that doesn't mean that that isn't a good provision to have.
Yeah, I think we should have an out also.
I can't imagine any circumstances that would change our mind.
Well, this lease is only good through 2013,
You know,
You're,
so we'd have to renew it again next year, so.
But they also have the option.
Well, they have the option.
Their option, not ours.
Yeah, but we have.
To renew it until the,
17th.
yeah, till
2017.
2017, so. And we don't have,
But we're only authorizing till September 29th of 2013 as a council here with this lease.
No, I don't,
No,
don't come back till 2017.
I think the language at the bottom of page 2, under paragraph 5, says, "This lease may be renewed at the option of the government for the following terms and the following rentals. Subject to the availability of funds, this lease may, at the option of the government," in this case it's the federal government, not the city government, "be renewed through September 30th, 2017 at the mutually agreed rental consideration of $1 per year in arrears."
Well, number one, we
so
can
they're
only,
not doing it for a year.
well, number one, we can only authorize something for
3 years
3 years,
anyhow.
correct?
That's
So
right.
then the line 2 is irrelevant. Why is it even in there then?
The,
Well, I guess you could say the same thing about line 5 then.
Right, I mean,
No, we
I don't
have,
know.
somehow the attorney in the past has ruled that we can extend the length of contracts by having staggered renewal dates. Although with us not having the option of opting out of it, that would seem to cause us to be in violation of the charter.
Mhm.
I don't think they'll object to the
Well, I
to
don't
the
think so either.
change, and I think we should have it.
Yeah, I think it should be changed too.
Is that the only part that we feel it should be changed, or is there any
No.
other, Gary?
No,
Well, unless we want to get more than $1.
I-
But I don't think there's much chance of that. Do they actually pay us the $1? Do
They
they?
do.
Okay. In pennies.
hey,
We'll just paying the electric bill is a plus.
it's great to see those boats out there.
They were out
Well,
there today.
they're definitely here to benefit.
Oh, the
The-
community and
the
the
community.
river and people. So what do we have to kick this back to our lawyer then?
No, I think we can just approve it subject to that addition, and
Subject to
Carl
the
can
amendment.
take it to
Yeah.
a lawyer and
And we can just change the
add
wording,
that and submit it to them.
send it back,
you know,
see if they sign it.
Any
I
other
can,
questions?
I can certainly send it back and with a proposed change to it, and then once they send us
Yeah.
the change, we can put it in front of you again.
Does this have to be done right away, or should we postpone it, or?
I don't think, I don't think it has to be done.
Yeah, it's not up until October 12th anyhow. Term of this lease doesn't begin until October 1st, 2012.
Yeah.
So-
The federal government moves pretty slow, but I think they
Yeah,
might be
I
able to
know.
handle that.
Yeah,
Well, historically, we've benefited, and there hasn't been anything negative from them being there, so why there'd ever come up an issue now?
Also on their, I don't know what sheet it would be on, there, on to third page, item number 7F. local government point of contact, Frank Commanding Officer, Coast Guard Cutter Bramble. It's Hollyhock now. And I don't know if that phone number's the same.
I'm sorry, Hollyhock, did you say?
Yes.
Yeah, Hollyhock. The Brambles parked.
Yeah, good catch.
What page are you looking at, Mark?
Continuation sheet,
Oh,
the
okay,
third one,
all right.
starts with 5B, if you go down to
Yep.
7F.
I see where you're reading. Thank you.
We're responsible for the seawall anyway on the whole boardwalk, correct? And any
Yes.
maintenance on it, so, okay.
Okay. You know, they're really nice. They let citizens, they take them up on there and show them around the boat sometimes, and, you know, little kids like it, and they're real nice.
Mark, you wanna change the Bramble's point of contact?
Yeah.
Bramble was here today.
No, you got the Bristol Bay out here today.
Oh, that's right, it was a
The
Bristol
Bramble
one.
isn't that sitting at the Seaway Terminal? That's the one that
Mhm.
was donated
Yeah.
to the Port Huron Museum that they're trying to sell.
Right.
Well, this page has been on for a number of years.
Yeah, I'm sure it has.
Well, we just have a much more diligent council now.
Very,
And manager who's leaving.
Yeah.
The manager didn't catch it.
all right, we all set then? All in favor of the addendum, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. A resolution is needed to set a date for the special joint meeting between the Algonac City Council and Planning Commission members to discuss a possible master plan update as presented.
I'll make a motion that
Carol, would you-
we,
okay.
adopt resolution number 07-17-12G to set a joint meeting between the Planning Commission and the City Council of Algonac.
Mayor
Is
Bird?
there support, and I think, okay. Is there support?
Support.
Okay. If you will, I think we spoke about this earlier today, come up with a,
It occurred to me that a good date would be Monday, February 6th. We have a council meeting on Tuesday, the 7th. That's a regular meeting of the Planning Commission, so if you can make it on the 6th, I'm sure they can make it on the 7th, and we could have the meeting
I
then.
will not be there on the sixth, so you know, unless it starts at 8 o'clock, I can't, I work till 8 on Mondays.
Okay.
I will not be there.
We can find another date then.
So we'll meet on their meeting night.
If you wish. Now, Amy said that she may not be able to attend, so that's,
Oh,
Mondays and Wednesdays, I work until at least 8 o'clock.
okay.
But if the rest of us can be there, not that I don't like Amy being there, but
Yeah.
you're only gonna have
It's a
one.
bad time of
We
year
have-
for me, so you.
Well, yeah, it's tax season, so it's understandable.
Mr. Bailey, does that sound appropriate for you, that we meet on your meeting night? February the 6th, Monday?
7 o'clock, your time?
Seven o'clock?
Yeah,
Seven.
everybody meets at 7 except for the council, we're at 7:30.
Okay.
Unless you want us to show up at 7:30 so you get your other business done first half hour.
Is there, we don't know anything.
I don't know of any business we have.
Yeah, haven't seen anything yet.
So that'll be our main purpose then, to discuss the plan, okay. All right. Okay, we have a motion, we have a support. Any questions or any more concerns about the motion that we need to address? Everybody all set, except for Amy? We'll try and let you know.
I'll try and make it, I mean,
Okay.
I'll see what I can do.
All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried. Okay, February the 6th, 7 PM. Fire truck sale recommendation by city manager. Entertain a motion, please.
I make
Make-
a motion, we accept city manager's recommendation to sell the 1946 American LaFrance fire pumper for $3,780 or more if they can negotiate more.
Is there a support?
Support.
All in favor of the, oh, any discussion, sorry. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Then we have the acceptance of the volunteer fire assistant grant program as presented in the best interest of the city. Entertain a motion, please.
Make a motion that we approve the fire assistant grant program in the amount of $2,100, our share being $1,050.
Council, do you have any questions or concerns that you, we need to address before the vote is called on this? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion is carried. Joey did notice on the back of the sheet, the people that you're gonna deal with, they come up with a different quote than you did. You're just piecemealing it from the, okay, thank you. Okay, then we'll move on to accounts payable. Entertain a motion to pay accounts payable as presented.
I move that city council approve accounts payable and payroll as submitted for a total of $233,456.48.
I'll second.
Any questions or concerns on the paying the accounts payable, council?
I have a question about the health insurance. I know we don't have a lot of them, but are all of our retirees current on the 40,
For their share,
60 split? Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
All of the employees that fell under that. There are two groups of employees, though, that I think there are some employees that have been retired quite some time ago that don't have the share requirement.
Right.
But all of them, since that share requirement has been agreed to and made part of their contract, are current.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? All in favor of paying accounts payable signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Items for next agenda.
Mayor, I've been thinking, because of Carl's departure, we should be really zeroing in on some things, and maybe particularly the budget. And we normally start off with a session where we kind of go over the budget or kind of plan ahead or whatever. And I think we should be trying to start on the budget, or at least that preliminary stuff before.
I spoke with Linda earlier today, so she's on board and we have to move in that direction.
Last year, we did a 2-year budget. Will it be, the budgeting be easier this year?
Because
I'm
now that we have
I'm
things in place.
anticipating this is gonna be the easiest budget that we've had since I've been here.
Okay.
Because we're not going to suffer the revenue reductions that we've seen in the past. I think the toughest budget is going to be the DDA budget, because, they've been spending more than they've been taking in for quite a long time, and now their fund balance is down there. But it's gonna require some tweaking, because
Oh, sure, but it's not gonna be like last year.
yeah, no, I don't believe so. And I talked with the city treasurer, and she's, the three biggest budgets are the water budget, the DPW budget, and the police department budget. And she's already working with the department heads on the expenditure side of those
Oh,
right
good.
now.
Good.
But if the,
Do we have something further to submit to the state to get the second leg of or the third leg of the 45,000?
yes, we do. And that's not due till May 1st, I don't think.
And what's the form that takes generally?
Well, that is a commitment by the council to adopt a second tier of benefits for newly hired employees, fringe benefits for newly hired employees.
Our only one would probably be the new city manager.
Well, you may have a new city manager before that comes up. I'm hoping you'll have a new city manager before that comes up.
The other thing I'm thinking of too is Carl's been involved in this right from the start, is we probably should get him really working hard on that fire authority, so that's done before he's gone,
And
if at all
we-
possible.
We are really making a lot of progress in that. I had a meeting last week, and we made substantial progress. It's really moving right now. So I think that's very doable.
Did you submit a letter to Michigan Humane? Or did our attorney about purchasing that property? Or who owns it or whatever?
Habitat.
Habitat of Humanity, not the Humane
Same
Society.
thing out there, the way they've been treating us.
No, we have not submitted it yet, but what we did do is, because the surveys and some of the descriptions didn't seem to align, we've ordered a title policy. It will cost us about $300, and we should be receiving that soon. And that should, if there are discrepancies and things that need to be corrected, you know, we'll be advised of those by the title company, then we can move forward. But right now, we're not absolutely sure every contingency that needs to be met. It appears that we may not need to purchase right-of-way from the adjacent property owners, that Habitat for Humanity may have a right-of-way that we could purchase. But we need to make certain of that. And we've just decided that the easiest way to do that is to order a title insurance policy. So we did that about 2 weeks ago, and we should be receiving that soon.
Gary, was there anything else that you were thinking of, or are you all set?
What? Yeah, my list quickly. No, I'm glad to hear that we're working on the budget and on the fire authority, so probably. And you know some of the, I guess I was talking to the mayor, and we should try to go as easy as we can on the manager till he leaves, with the idea of trying to concentrate on the major things that we have ahead of us, and there's a bunch of them, and try to stay away from the
Putting a lot more on the plate.
smaller ones that we can dump on the new manager.
I'm going to try and come up with a prioritized list of things, but the top of it is, is the fire authority and getting the budget process, started. Maybe we'll know more after tomorrow night when we listen to the governor's message.
There'll be some words of wisdom there, huh?
But, as your financial reports indicate, we're operating within our budget. The budget looks good at this point, and there are always some expenses that are a little bit higher than we thought, and others are lower. But we think we've successfully met the criteria for at least the first two parts of the governor's EVIT program, so that should be good for $30,000 right there, and we can pick up another 15 with the third part. So none of that was budgeted, so that should help us.
Council comments? Mark?
I'd like to say it's been a pleasure working with Carl. I'm sorry to accept your letter of resignation, which I didn't want to do. I would like to thank both Carl and Paul Jamalowitz for doing the audit on the street lights. Thank you very much, even though we can't afford it right now.
I also would like to thank Carl for all his efforts on behalf of the citizens of Algonac. Thank you. And I want to say it was good to see the granite monument go in at the park. in honor of the first responders, and the grounds around it are manicured, and it looks nice.
My feeling is exactly what Carl, it was great working with you, and I'm really sad to see you go. I'll buy all those Ramble tickets if you'll stay.
He's not gone yet, so I'm not gonna say anything. Again, a reminder just to get your tickets for the Boards and Commissions dinner. It's gonna be held on Friday, the 3rd, February, I should say. And, thanks to see everybody there. Joe?
I'd like to just say the First Responders Monument was set today. Dedication will be on Memorial Day. And I'd like to extend the council sympathy to Tom Kruger and his family in their loss.
My turn? Ditto on the Carl thing. I'm not gonna say too much, though, until he leaves. Have a
Look
little
out
talk.
then.
Then I'll have a little talk with him. And thanks, everybody, for being here tonight, and it was quite a quick meeting.
There's
We're
much
not
else on
done
the
yet,
agenda.
Gary's gotta talk.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
He had his backpack with him, so
I
I
brought
don't know.
I brought my pajamas, so we'll be okay.
Let me clear my throat.
Look out, he's gonna reach for the blue bag
Yeah,
again.
exactly.
Yeah.
No, our idea of really patting Carl on the back is working to try to get wring the maximum amount of work out of him in the next 60 days, so, yeah, we'll miss you.
Well, the great part about that is I'm not going far, and I'm gonna be around, and
And we'll see his picture everywhere. We won't even get a chance to really miss him. Motion to adjourn?
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.